Hello guys and welcome to my new video. If you are a Ruby Sapphire enjoyer, this video is for you. A competitive deck profile video for the upcoming tournaments and set championships. Before we dive into the deck, don't forget to subscribe for more Lorcana videos. And now, have fun, let's go. Alrighty, so if you want to have a look at the full list, here it is to check it out. And you will also find the link to my Ruby Sapphire deck at the Lorcana page in the video description below. And now let's go over all my card choices in detail. On the 1-drop slot, I run Mushu's Rocket and 1-cost inkable item. When you play this item, you can give one of your characters Rush for the rest of the turn. And also, if you pay 2 ink and you banish this item, you can give one of your characters Rush in this turn, which can be very good later in the game with some of the high-cost characters to use their abilities right away. And of course, on the 1-drop slot, we also have 4 copies of Develop Your Brain. You can look at the top 2 cards of your deck and take one into your hand and the other one down under the deck. That's it for the 1-drop slot. We have no 1-cost characters in this build, no other 1-cost songs or actions. That's it. But the 2-cost slot is crowded. We're starting off with 4 copies of the Ink Runner. It's also an item. When you play this card, you can draw a card and you can use the second ability as well. And it comes in handy in some game situations and against certain decks. You can exert the card, pay 1 ink, and one of your characters gains alert in this turn. So you can challenge evasive characters, which is very strong against some purple decks. Purple, for example, purple still runs a lot of evasive characters as well. And this is what the deck struggles the most with, evasive cards, because we don't have evasive characters in this build. So, I mean, except for our shark, but other than that, this card is very crucial in some matchups. For some card draw, we have 2 copies of Weight Medallions. You can pay 2 ink, exert this card. You can give one of your characters +2 strength. And every time he challenges another character in this turn, you can draw a card. With some card combinations, you can use this ability multiple times in a turn, which is very cool actually. And in like the last 30 to 35 games, I tested this online. I pulled off this combo a couple times and it was very neat to draw like 3 or 4 cards in a turn. And yeah, very good, very good. And card draw is a thing this deck also struggles. It's not there yet where it was before rotation, but I think with some tools, Ruby Sapphire could become meta again, or at least join the meta discussion. Maybe next set, it's time again. Of course, on a 2-drop slot, 4 copies of Sail the Azure Sea. You can draw a card and ramp another time. Not many words needed. And of course, 4 copies of Visions of the Future. You can look at the top 5 cards of your deck, take 1 into your hand. The one you really need in this game situation at the current state of the game, and put the others under your deck. And also, of course, the little boy Tipo. You can ramp also in turn 2, which is very crucial for this deck because we don't run any 3-drop characters. So you want to find either Sail the Azure Sea or Tipo in your starting hand after Mulligan. So you can ramp up to 4 in turn 3 and play your higher cost cards in turn 3. So Mulligan for Tipo or Sail is crucial, and finding it also and playing it in turn 2. And last but not least, we have Next Up Olympus in the 2-drop slot. 3 copies of it. It's an inkable action, and if you have a character with 5 strength or more in play, you can play this action for free. What this card does, you can ready a character of your choice and he can't quest for the rest of the turn. And every time, and this is important, every time this character challenges another character, you can gain 1 lore. So you can use this card also on an opposing character, like an illusion character, to banish a Yago or another illusion character on the opposing side, but also you can use it on one of your characters, and with Maui Shark, which is in this deck, you can get this card back from your discard and play it for free every time. So you can create a kind of infinite loop and use the card and the ability to gain lore with playing this action for Maui Shark with challenging, and this is kind of fun, win the game this way. That's it for the 2-drop slot. We put the cards on the side. Yeah, as I said, I don't run any 3-drop cards in this build, but I run 2 copies of the new legendary Hercules, 4-cost uninkable card, 5 strength, 3 willpower, quest for 2. This character doesn't get any damage except he's being challenged, and you can move damage counters or put damage counters on this card. This works as well. And as long as this card is exerted, your other heroes also don't get damaged unless they get challenged. So if you play Hercules on turn 4, which you want to do if you're on the play against most decks, so you can kind of stall enemy questing, because Hercules is a very strong card with 5 strength. He can take out almost every character. He only struggles with evasive cards, but then you have Ink Runner, which can come in handy with Hercules on board. And then in turn 5, you can play other stuff, and your other heroes, they don't get damaged when they challenge themselves. So this is very strong actually. And we have a couple heroes in this deck. For example, 3 copies of the Ruby Raya, 4-cost inkable character, 3 strength, 3 willpower, quests for 2 also. And once per turn, if you put a card into your inkwell, you can ready another chosen character of yours. So you could do Hercules in turn 4, quest with him, play Raya, ink, ready Hercules again, and then challenge into something on the opposing board. So you could use Hercules twice in a turn, but you can also use it for every other character you want. On the 4-drop slot also, might solve a mystery, 4-cost inkable action song. You can look at the top 4 cards of your deck, and then you can put 1 character card and 1 item card from the top 4 cards into your hand. You have to reveal it, but it's draw 2 basically, because we run a couple items in this deck, and of course a lot of characters. So usually it's draw 1 at least, but sometimes you get lucky and draw 2 cards, which can be very strong. And it's an action and song, so you have the Maui Shark synergies. And last but not least, on the 4-drop, so still don't own a Cinderella, but we run 3 copies of it. So if you're on the draw, sometimes against the faster decks, you want to get to 6 ink as fast as possible, and this is where Cinderella shines. You drop her in turn 3, and you can ink another card at the end of the turn, draw 1, and the next turn in turn 4, you're already at 6 ink and deal with like aggro boards more easily. I will show you the card which I'm referring to in a second. That's it for the 4-drop slot. Out of the way with the cards. And for some removal, we have the Headless Horseman, of course, 5-cost uninkable character, 4 strength, 2 willpower, quests for 2. When you play this character, you can banish an opposing character with 2 strength or less, and every time during your turn, whenever an opposing character gets banished, your other characters gets +1 strength, and it stacks. So if you banish multiple characters in a turn, you gain +1 strength every time a character is banished. And so you can boost up a Tipo up to like 3, 4 or 5 strength even, which is pretty cool. Also on the 5-drop slot, we have Scuttle, and newly added this card, and opponents have a hard time to deal with Scuttle because he has 5 strength, 5 willpower, he quests for 2, and he has Ward. And Ward and his big body is what gives the opponent nightmares, because he trades up against almost every character out there, and with his Ward he can be targeted with damage spells, with removal spells or whatever, and he's a solid 2 lore quester to finish the game for you. And this is what I like about Scuttle. And we're immediately jumping to the 6-drop slot. as I mentioned before, Maui Half Shark, 4 copies of it. I think it was one of the best cards when it was released for a couple sets. It was a very broken and very strong card, and yeah, with rotation kicking in, Maui Shark lost a little bit of his strength, but I want to revive this color combination, and I really like Maui Shark in this build. 6 cost, inkable character, 7 strength, 5 willpower, quest for 1. He has evasive, which is strong. And also, whenever you play an action card, you gain 1 lore, and whenever Maui Half Shark challenges another character, you can get 1 action card from your discard back to your hand. So you, as I said before, you can cycle Next Stop Olympus with Maui Half Shark for infinity combos maybe, and get it back to your hand and do multiple challenges with Maui Half Shark in a turn. So if you're facing a exerted board, which is very rare to be honest, but sometimes your opponent just quests into your Maui Half Shark, then you can cycle Next Up Olympus. You gain 1 lore whenever you play Next Up Olympus, and you gain 1 lore whenever you challenge with Maui into one of the opposing characters, which is very strong. And we run 21 actions and songs in this build, so you have a lot of cards synergizing with Maui Half Shark's ability. And the last card in the 6-drop slot is Spooky Sight, 6 cost, uninkable action cards, and you can put all cards with 3 cost or less in the inkwell of this player. So if you're on the draw, like I mentioned before, in turn 4, if you find your turn 2 ramp, if you have Cinderella in turn 3, you can play this card in turn 4 to get rid of all the smaller characters like dogs or some aggro decks, which is hard to deal with this deck. But Spooky Sight is like a be prepared against those aggro decks, and I really like to have an emergency pull against those faster decks. And then it's like, okay, back to turn number 1, we're starting over. You have more ink, but you have no board. And yeah, this is where this deck shines from this moment on. So I really like Spooky Sight in this build, and also you have the Maui Half Shark synergies because it's an action. Yeah, and move these cards away, and we are at the top end of this deck. Of course, 4 copies of the blue Hades to have some spot removal, 7 cost, uninkable card, 3 strength, 6 willpower, quests for 2, and you could put 1 opposing character into its inkwell. So we have quite a few cards for removal. Like I said in the beginning, the deck isn't there yet where it was before rotation with Big Sisu, with B-Prep, but I think it can surprise your opponent sometimes, and yeah, it's a cool choice for the upcoming tournament. And the last card of this deck, 4 copies of Maleficent Dragon. Of course, you have so many ramp options, and since there are so many blue decks around, it's no problem to get to 9 ink, 7 strength, 5 willpower, quests for 2 as well. And when you play this character, you can banish 1 character of your choice. So this is very cool. We have quite a few cards for removal. Maleficent and Hades are 2 of them. So I think this deck is very strong. It's a very fun build. We have a lot of actions, a lot of Maui Shark synergies, and some cool combo possibilities with the deck. If you want to check out the full list, you will find it in the video description below, like I said at the beginning of the video. If you like such live deck profiles, I will do more upcoming in January. Right now, my life is kind of crazy. A lot of stuff going on at work and private life, and yeah, there is just no time for doing more videos. But I will be back with more videos coming in January when the set champs arrive. So if you like this video, give it a like. If you're new to the channel, I'm always happy about new viewers. So if you made it up to this point of the video, hit subscribe. Yeah, welcome to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Flokki.